Well, you don't get much more Canadian than 5-pin bowling. The purely Canadian pastime hit the gutter in the South Island when Mayfair and Town and Country Lanes closed their doors 6 years ago. But the game is alive and well in Sydney, in the hands of this week's Island MVP. Here's Jordan Cunningham.
It's the same every time. You roll a ball down the lane at some pins, and you do it again. Success in bowling sounds simple, but once it hits the hardwood, it's out of your hands.
It can work perfectly sometimes, and sometimes it won't. And I can attest to that.
81-year-old George Coldwell has spent a lifetime bowling. Now he's seeing it all over again through the eyes of his star pupil.
I wish all my bowlers were like him. He listens. He's not afraid to try something.
It started when I went to a friend's birthday party, and it was at a bowling alley, and I just fell in love with it instantly.
And 8 years later, the party's still going. Thomas Zeran is the best 15-year-old bowler on Vancouver Island. The newly minted island champ punched his ticket to the BCs last weekend by the slimmest of margins.
I beat the other competition by very, very small fraction of points, only by 10 points, so I was very, very lucky to get in.
Luck will hopefully be on his side this weekend when Thomas represents the islands at the BC Championships in Kelowna. And if he gets into the zone, watch out.
When you get into the zone, you just get strike after strike after strike. It feels like you just aced like a pop quiz. It's the best feeling in the world.
Miracle Lanes in Sydney is the only place for 5-pin bowling in the South Island. The shoes might be cooler than before, but Thomas is a throwback to the golden age of bowling.
People might just think, oh, it's not a real sport, I'm not going to play it anymore. It's basically just a recreational activity. But that's not how the bowlers left here see it, and including me.
Thomas Zeran's passion for pins makes him this week's Island MVP. He's a member of the Saanich Youth Council and also is an avid filmmaker. In a 10-pin world, Thomas and George prefer the precision of 5.
The difference between a strike and a head pin is literally by a centimeter.
And it's a centimeter that cost his coach a perfect game way back in 1964.
What's your top score?
440.
Almost there.
I head pinned the last ball.
And Thomas's top score?
325. So, and a perfect game is 450. So, a bit off, trying to get that perfect game one day.
And George says that day will come.
If he keeps it up, he's going to be a good bowler. Real good.
Jordan Cunningham, CTV Sports, Sydney.
All right, well done, Jordan. Next Wednesday, another installment of Island MVP.